Hey guys, it's Railroader Cabal here in Clash of Legions to do another strategy video commentary. So this will probably be my last strategy VOD because I just really want to go back to doing regular 1 versus 1 2v2 VODs that I'm normally used to. But we have one more strategy VOD that we got to get through today. And a lot of people are doing the Hound Rush, or as I like to call it, Houndlinks, because they look a lot like Zerglings from StarCraft 2. So basically you can do the same thing as like a Gnoll Rush, where you build a barracks immediately and then you can get out Hounds first thing. And the benefit about Hounds is that you can get 2 Hounds instead of 1. So we're going to be on this map here. So Guardian's Hideout is a good map for like short rushes because they're short, pretty short distances from both of these players. So Lokris here is going to do the Hound Rush, and then Duffman is going to try to defend. So let's get this game started here. So Duffman is going to be trying to defend against the Houndling Rush, and Lokris is going to go for like 2 barracks, I think it is. Yeah, 2 barracks. And he's going to try to get out as many Hounds as possible. Duffman has a strategy involved in trying to counter the Hound Rush because a lot of people seem to struggle with it. And, you know, there's different variants of the Houndling Rush that a lot of people do, but I think what Duffman does in this game would probably be the best option. I mean, obviously, not a lot of people have the kind of cards that Duffman has in his deck, but we will see what's going to happen. So, as you can see here, Lokris has got 2 barracks here, and he's just pumping out non-stop Hounds. Plus, he also has the Boots and Valor at his disposal, so that's going to make the Hounds that much more faster and that much more powerful. So, it's a good idea to have Boots and Valor in your deck if you're going to do Houndling Rushes. But the Duffman here, he's got a barracks and he's got Gnolls in his deck. So, Gnolls is a decent counter to Hounds. And then he also has the Ice Tower here, base defense. So Ice Towers, I think, are a little bit better to have as your defense than Watchtowers, because Watchtowers have a little bit less vision, and they're just a lot worse. So here come the Hounds, and they do use the Boots, and they're going to try to attacking all of the Goblins. He does take out a couple Goblins here, but for the most part here, this tower, it actually does a little bit of splash damage. So in turn, that actually helped out Duffman quite a bit. So the first Houndling Rush was a failure, because Duffman had his Gnolls out and his Watchtower, or his Ice Tower. So that in itself is a pretty big victory for Duffman. Yes, he lost a couple of Goblins, but in turn, Lokris lost more in terms of resources. And then Lokris is actually going to go for 3 barracks here, so he wants to triple production out his Hounds. And within doing so here is that with the Owl here from Duffman is going to go scout to see if anything more sneaky is going to be coming in. But we do see a little bit more Hounds coming in here, so we'll see if he's going to be using the Boots and Valor at his disposal. And then Promancers are an excellent counter to Hounds because of their splash damage. And here come the Hounds with their Boots. So they're coming in, and they're going to try to do a little bit more Goblin harassment here. But with the Gnolls and the Promancers at Duffman's disposal, he's able to do a lot of damage here. Plus, he has the Tide Commanders, and Tide Commanders is great because it just pushes back all those Hounds, and in doing so, wasn't able to do as much damage to the Goblins as Lokris would have liked. So now, another refinery is going to be built here by Duffman, so more Hounds are going to be coming in here. So at this point, it seems like Duffman has a pretty good counter and understanding of Hounds, but he can't really expect them every single game, but it's good to know, like, a certain type of situation and a certain type of deck can actually counter Hounds. Now that his Owl is actually been placed here, he's actually able to see where the Hounds are coming from, and he's going to make his own ground attack here with his Promancers, Tide Commanders, and Gnolls. So this basically spells dooming for this for these Hounds. Now, I'm not sure what the Boots are for, but I think he would just maybe misclicked. He wanted to destroy those Gnolls faster, but in doing so, he wasn't able to do that. Now these Gnolls here are in charge of this game because these frontline units basically do a lot of damage and then keep those Hounds at bay, while the Promancers and Tide Commanders in the backside were able to like do their own damage against those Hounds. Now from the bottom here, more Hounds are coming in from Lokris, but Duffman's on top of that. He knew exactly where those Hounds are coming in from. He even uses the Valor at his disposal to try to see if he can damage those Gnolls a bit more, and they do a little bit more damage, but unfortunately, because of the healers, he's able to keep that Gnoll. He did lose 1 Gnoll, unfortunately, but you know, in the retrospect of things, Lokris was only able to kill 8 units compared to Duffman's 66. So more Hounds are being built up by Lokris, and he is able to actually get his refinery out here. Now, what happens here And this next part is a little bit controversial because usually a Hound player would typically do something else, like maybe just gather more Hounds and then maybe go for different more units like Spearmans or Healers or Pyromancers or whatever. But this type here, because Duffman knew he was in control, he's just going to go straight for the castle, this level 12 castle. And then Lokris noticed that immediately, so he sends all his hounds towards the base here of Duffman, and he's going to be using the Valor and the Boots and to try to destroy the castle. Because if you can destroy the castle, you can win the game. But a well-placed Blizzard coming in from Duffman is able to stun all those hounds, and in doing so did a ton of damage. And also the ice tower helped out a lot too. He was able to put down Duffman's castle to less than half health, but because of that, he left his base super wide open, and he's able to lose. Luke was able to lose the game because he lost his castle. Okay, so Houndlings are a great rush strategy, and if you can catch the person off guard, then it certainly is a thing. Although Duffman had Gnolls in his deck and he had the Ice Tower. So if you don't have Gnolls, you can definitely sub in, Spearman, or not Spearman, but Swordsman is what I was trying to say. But if you can get out those early units, it all depends on like what you have in your deck. If you don't have Gnolls in your deck, you don't have your Ice Tower, then you can use Watchtowers or Pyromancers or like something quick like Swordsman. And it all depends on like how your playstyle is. If the person you're playing against knows how to Hound Rush properly, and not to say that Lokris did a good job. He did a good job like keeping Duffman on his toes. He just was a little bit unlucky in that game. But for Houndlings, it all depends on your playstyle and what kind of cards you have in your deck, and you just have to adapt to it. If you get beat by a Hound Rush, then you just look at your replay and then see what you could have done better, and just look at maybe getting some different cards in your deck. So what Duffman did there was pretty good. It was able to get those Gnolls out and that Ice Tower just defending off against those Hounds, and he almost lost that game. If Duffman did not have his Blizzard and fired it on his own base and destroyed all those hounds, Duffman would 100% lost that game because Locust used Valor and his boots, and that would have been GG right then and there for Duffman. But the Blizzard basically saved his ass right there. Okay, so there's your strategy VOD there, and hopefully next time I can bring you guys some actual video commentaries, the ones that I like, 1 versus 1 and 2v2. Hope you guys enjoy this game. My name is Cabal, and I will see you guys all next time.